Let's talk about my top gear of 2024. What's going on, everybody? This is Lamar with MFN Research, and today we're going to talk about my top EDC tech gear, just overall gear of 2024. I can't take credit for this video. Chris over at Has Way Too Many Hobbies just did a video like this, and he got the idea from Steve's Gear. Hey, I like to cite my sources, so check their videos out. I'll link them in the description. Chris shouted me out and said I should try one too, so I thought I'd put one out there and see what happens. So let's dig in and let's start with the EDC items first. So first up, and probably the most important, most changing to how I do things piece of EDC gear for 2024 is this guy, the Dammit pouch. I've done a video on it. I've featured the pouches in gear hauls, but this guy right here comes in handy. I have it every day on my hip. It's so important that if I actually don't have it on and I'm looking to fix something or do something with some tape, my daughter will go grab it immediately and just give it to me. So for the most part, since the video, I've only made a couple small tweaks to it. So I've added some tweezers to it. I've added a poker pin to it. And then the next tool, Sailor, that we've talked about, I've added that to it. And speaking of that, that is the next item. I like this little multi-tool. It's nice, it's light, it's not too expensive, it comes in handy, it does everything I need, and it's got a great pair of scissors. So the next tool, Mini Sailor, is my next piece of gear that's important for 2024. So this one's in my top 15. It's probably my favorite EDC pouch. I'm actually letting it go on a little bit of a break for right now, but it's the Garage Built Gear Mighty Pouch, I think Plus. And I've just been a fan of this guy. The layout is great. The build quality is great. Doesn't have those double zippers, but that's okay. I still love this guy. I've got a couple patches on here, but still one of my favorites. Next up, I've talked about pins. I like good pins. I like pins at different price ranges, but the two pins that stand out the most, technically three, because I had this one in black, but I lost it, are the Bastion pins that I have. So I've got the bolt action in red. It used to be black, so I had to replace it. And then I got the fountain pen. So these are my two Bastion pins, and I take them pretty much everywhere I go. I use one of them pretty much every day. So this one goes in my kits, and this one usually is when I journal in the morning. So next up, I did a review on this flashlight, and I liked it, but I wasn't a big fan of it. But since then, it's really grown on me. It's one of those things, I think I said in the video, that it has a lot of stuff going on with it, and it may be intimidating for those, but once you get used to it, or you settle in and how you use it, the Workhorse HD10 is a fantastic little flashlight. The magnetic bottom, I just used it earlier today to put some stuff together. The belt clip is perfect. It fits on your hat. There's a headband attachment. I just like it. It's nice, small, compact, not too big. And also the low light mode is fantastic. So I use this pretty much every time I'm out here. So I'm probably gonna use it tonight again. I carried a folding knife for years. I'm not a big knife guy. That may change in 2025. I want to look at a couple knives and check them out because there's a few that caught my eye. But so far this year, I've just been using this pry Brit, changing the blades on it. I actually was using the pry function of it today to put some stuff on my car. So definitely comes in handy. Use it a few times a week. Nice, comfortable. And if I lose it, if it breaks, anything happens to it, it's under 20 bucks, so I can always get another one. So this one, I think we talked about this one. Because of the clip, the Gundeck EDC Ranger wallet is my go-to. It's like my mini wallet, if you will. So I just got a couple of important cards, my key fob, and I've added the second poker pin in here because there's always situations where we get ready for school in the morning and one of the kids needs something signed. So that way I can just pop this guy out, sign it, and hit the door. So next is this guy. I did a video on this one as well. This is the Waterfield Design Mini Hip Sling. It goes with the Ranger wallet and a couple other things when I take the kids to school, or if I'm just running out and about and don't have a lot of need to get out the car or do a lot of things. I usually go to this first if I'm not going to be doing a lot, if I'm just running in and out somewhere real quick. This is my go-to. It's light. I wear it across the front, wear it across the back, wear it under my arm when I'm driving. Fantastic little sling. It might not be for everybody given the price. I love the little Papa Red leather accent, but this is a fantastic little sling. So I think I mentioned these in my gear haul. Patches and REs and things like that I know can be controversial for some in the EDC community. I'm not a big fan on getting a ton of them. I say support those creators that you really like. And for me, my primary focus is those brands, those characters that have been my favorite characters for years. So that's usually what's going to be represented for me. And Trigger Patches had these guys right here, and I love them. They are fantastic. You've got Black Panther on the throne, you've got Savage Land Storm, you've got Storm, and you've got a little Black Panther. I love those things, man. I don't put them on any bags or anything. I think I put them on a bag once, but I just like them. I'm almost going to frame them and use them as artwork because they're just so nice. So it wouldn't be one of my videos if I didn't transition from EDC to tech and tech related type stuff. And the first tech item I'm going to do is probably the biggest and most important, most expensive probably on the list. And that's going to be my M2 iPad Pro. It's in a mauve case with a imitation Apple Pencil. This guy is like the brains of my YouTube channel. I write scripts in here, I organize stuff, I check on status of stuff, I review analytics. I'm gonna try to actually edit a video on this to see what that works like. But this right here has come in handy. I keep my notes on it when I'm actually filming a video. It's right here, it's light, it just goes everywhere. And sometimes based on what sling manufacturers make, I kind of wish it was the size of the smaller iPad, but for me, what it does, that M2 chip, I didn't see a need to upgrade to the M4. Just love it. It's just perfect for me. So this is another one of those that I don't think you're going to see on any YouTube EDC type channel, because I like to tell you the stuff that I use day to day. Most of the stuff in this video, I'm pulling it straight from where I'm using it today, the day before. So it's not going to be properly staged. I just grabbed it all, brought it in the garage, and decided to put a video together for it. So this guy right here, it goes by my recliner. It's a nice little lap desk, so it sits down, I can recline back. This puts my tablet there, my keyboard sits right there if I needed to. If I need more space, I can flip it around and use it this way. I wouldn't travel with it or anything like that, but just sitting around the house or sitting in the backyard or something like that, this is a nice little stand to have to give you that laptop tablet functionality without having to have like the magic keyboard and all that good stuff. I just have a small little keyboard because I like to keep them separate anyway. So next up is just these guys right here, my little AirPod Pros. These are actually the 2s. The 4s died on me this year, so I decided I liked them so much, I replaced them with the 2s. I wanted to see if they were going to do anything more, but they work so well for me. The small footprint, I love using these guys. And let me make sure, you got to use them with the comply tips. That usually fits well in my ear. Love them that way. So if you don't like the silicone, go with the tips on here. This is the same Nomad case that I've had since the first set. I might replace it because this top is getting slippery, but nice little setup. AirPod Pro 2, can't go wrong. So next up, I forgot to bring it downstairs. The kids are actually asleep, so I'm not gonna go try to grab it. And that is my TomTalk Tech Organizer. I'm gonna say for this one, the larger one over the small one, just because it's that desk caddy, and I use it every time I'm on my desk somewhere. I didn't bring it downstairs today because I was using it upstairs earlier today. It just works out. I was gonna get the Cap 2 by Evergoods. I looked at the Vertex pouch. I'm sure they're really good, really nice, but for the money, I just can't go wrong with it. I've loved using it so far. It does everything I need. There's a few things I'd fix on it, check that video out, but it just works. And for the price, you can't beat it. So next up, we've got my Varrock, or however you wanna call it, my little 3-in-1, 10,000 milliamp hour battery bank. Like I said, I just use this one. It's been in a few videos. I think it was in a couple gift guides just recently. It's got the variety of chargers. I let people use this when they need it. I don't have to worry about if they've got lightning, if they got USB-C, if they've got like an old tablet or something like that, or some headphones, whatever it is. I know this is gonna pretty much handle it in a compact form. This slips out a little more than some of the Anchor and Ugreen ones that use this as a lanyard, but for the price, for the functionality, I still love it. All right, I don't have any right here. I'll put some B-roll of them just because they're connected to my Mac Mini right now, and I've got a couple upstairs, and that's just those mini USB-C cables. I've talked about them, I don't know how many times. They come in single packs, they come in double packs. They're smaller than the Rolling Square InCharge. They have fast download speeds. They fit almost anywhere. You can keep a couple of them. They don't cost too much. Buy them, just keep them in your different pouches, and you'll be good to go. So I almost forgot this guy. This is gone with me. It's gone on trips. I take it day to day, and it's just my Mii U mini console. Got to play Super Mario World old school Ninja Turtles, the X-Men arcade game. There's just so many fun games from my childhood that I get to play. You can save your progress, pick up where you left off. Remember the Simpsons arcade game? I beat that not too long ago. So it gives you that opportunity to play those old games, have a little bit of fun, don't have to spend hours or a lot of quarters on it. You can just play for 5, 10, 15 minutes, save your progress, pick it up later. And that's what I love it for, is those just little small spurts of gaming, get in, get out, and do something else. Last up in the tech kind of maintenance, I'll call it, is just my Hoto precision driver. This got the extra bits in there. I mean, it's not that fun. It's not sexy. It's not, high tech or anything. But sometimes the things that you use are just those things that come in handy. I can reach for this. It's a small footprint. If I'm going somewhere, I can take it in my bag. I can just take it with me and just use it for whatever I need. So also, can't show you this. I've shown it to you before in gear hauls. I've shown it in other stuff. And that's just my Ulanzi phone tripod. I'm recording on it right now, so I can't show it to you. Anytime I just feel like recording without setting up everything and just throwing my phone, throwing the light, and just throwing the mic on, this is what I'm going to use. It's nice, simple to use, low profile. I can take it with me anywhere. I'm going to use it even a lot more in 2025, but I really just like this little thing. Comes in handy. It's about the size of a water bottle. And one more thing, I'm not reading my notes. This guy right here is just the Epilmaker EK68 mechanical keyboard. It's got pink flamingo switches. I tried to give it that Black Panther theme with the black and purple. I'll even put some B-roll right here of the keys. So if you're into that kind of thing, you can get the sound of those keys. And I just love it. It's a nice, inexpensive keyboard. It's got a volume dial on it. Didn't really know I needed a volume dial, but as much YouTube and stuff like that I watch out here in the garage, it definitely comes in handy. One of the things I'm seeing in a lot of my gear is stuff that I use in the garage. I spend a lot of time out here just hanging out on the weekends sometimes and on the evenings. And with that in mind, I'm going to go to the next category. It's just some of my cigar stuff. And what I'm going to do is go over that real quick, because this may not be for everybody. It'll be time stamped. If you're not into that kind of thing, you can skip it, and I'm perfectly okay with that. So first up is this Cigar Dagger Cigar Rest. So sad news, I actually threw the other half of it away by mistake cleaning up out here. It's got like a Damascus pattern right there, and it came in this really thick, really cool leather sheath. So after the holidays, once all the shipping and things like that die down, I'm going to replace it. So you like something when you lose it and you have to replace it almost immediately. This guy right here, I don't know, it makes the cigar taste better. Could be my imagination, but it just does. Next up is my cigar rest. I put a couple coffee beans in there just to help absorb the smell from the ashes. It's customized. It's got the logo from the podcast on the bottom that I do with my brother. It's got our initials, FOP, Foul Language Podcast. It's also got the quote from my dad. If you know what movie What is Best in Life came from, drop it in the comments. It's actually a quote that came up on a trip one time, and it just kind of became our quote between my brother, my dad, and myself. So I have to say that's actually one of the last things he said. So that little phrase is always going to be special to me. So next, it's a little cool right now, but this neck fan, I bought this from Costco on a whim, and when it's hot, definitely the way to go. It's not using it as much right now, but if this was most used EDC gear in the summertime, it'd be right in there. So next up, keeping with that same theme, sometimes you're out here, coffee beans are spilling, ashes are spilling and stuff like that. I just pulled this right out of the desk drawer that it's at, and it's just this air duster. I've shown this before in my gear haul. It's got attachments, it's USB-C, it's got 3 modes, it's got a little light on the bottom. Comes in handy to blow ashes off the table, blow them outside, blow bugs out if I want to. Whatever needs to happen, you can just use this little guy. So next up, I'll show you a little bit of B-roll of that too, just because I'm going to turn it on in a minute. And that's just my exhaust fan. Not really for everybody, but it's the gear that I use. It takes all the smoke in the room and takes it outside. So it's from, I can't remember who it's from right now, but it was one of the premier ones. It's actually for growing something else that's smoked, but that's not my thing. So it's in here. It's an exhaust fan. It sits right here. Turn it on. It's not too loud, and it pulls everything out. So definitely recommend that if you're into cigars and things like that in the garage. It pulls a lot of the smoke out. Between that and a good filtration, you'll be good to go. Okay, last we'll end with a little miscellaneous gear. First up is this guy. Rough Enough sent me this. This is their small tool bag. I just grabbed it from upstairs and just pulled it down here. I'm gonna open it and try not to spill everything. It's just got my stuff in here. I got into Gundam model kits this year, maybe last year, into last year, going into this year. They sent me this and I knew exactly what I was gonna do with it because it was in my wish list to buy anyway. So definitely something that I've really enjoyed using. It has all my stuff. If I want to work upstairs, outside, in the garage, I know everything is here and I can just grab it and go. Okay, so now what I've got next to me, and I'm not gonna take them out, I'm just gonna show them to you in the box. I don't feature a lot of shoes and clothes and stuff like that because I don't know. I don't really care about that stuff too much. As long as it works, as long as it keeps me warm, as long as it does the job, it's cool. But two items that I have to show. You see them all over the internet. They don't sponsor me or anything like that, but I like them especially as a value for the price. They've lasted a good little while. I've got more than these two pair, but these are the pair that I want to bring out. These are just the Cacao Heritage sneakers. And then I've also got, let's see if I can do this without making a mess. And then I've also got my boots, just my Mac Black Captains. I usually wear those when it's ugly outside, keep my feet warm, all that good stuff. They don't look too bad. I enjoy them. Nice low profile, simple, nice gateway boot too if you want to get into boots or anything like that. So I like them. They're not for everybody. Say what you will about them, but I enjoy them. Last but certainly not least, I had to go grab these guys out the freezer because they have to be kept frozen. And this is just my Co-Meter coffee. It is something that I use every day. I use it while I'm writing scripts. I use it while I'm listening to videos, while I'm working. Frozen concentrate coffee. Pour some hot water on it. It is really good coffee, especially given the lack of effort. So if you're not into really dialing in your coffee brewing method, this has to be the way to go. It's a little bit pricier than if you're brewing yourself, but it's cheaper than if you're going to the coffee shop. And I find that this is better than most of the coffee shops out there for me. So this right here is the thing out of everything on this list that probably gets used the most. It's my monthly shipment of Co-Meter coffee. The only time I don't drink it is if I go to a coffee shop or something like that. But otherwise, hot water, one of these guys, I'm good to go. So that's my top gear for the year. It's more than just EDC gear. It's just the gear that I use day in and day out. Definitely comes in handy. As always, recommend stuff in the comments because I love hearing from you guys. You guys have some fantastic recommendations, some fantastic things that I've added over the years since we've been doing this channel. Definitely enjoying that. Definitely plan on doing that. Let me know what you carry. What are the 2 to 5 things that you use almost every day? So with that, as always, take care of yourself. Take care of each other. I'm Lamar with MFN Research. I'm out.